Welcome everybody. I want to welcome you today in an Italian accent. I don't know if it's working, but welcome everyone again. It's ZED101, and today something happened a few days ago, and Malama and I decided to, explore a bit, talk about it a bit.
Take advantage.
Are we?
Yeah, of course, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
We just decided to lend a voice.
Are we?
We thought maybe our voice matters because there's a lot
of followers and likes.
There's a lot of people who are saying a lot of nonsense that's not making sense. So since I'm like CFC low, well, we're using this episode as clickbait.
That's right. That's what I said.
We don't care about our opinions. Just do. But anyways, before we get into the topic of discussion, once again we link up with my favorite person, the incomparable. Every
time, Kennedy.
Madam, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good. How was your weekend?
It was good. We had the Lusaka food market.
Yes.
So I was there.
What time did you leave that place?
Oh, for God's sakes. Why did you not tell me to put my phone on silent?
You see, this is goddamn obedient problem. Same Chabota. Phone yakwe. Yakwe phone.
What am I doing? Airplane mode. Silent.
I think she may have a fiance because you were silent.
Okay, I hope this is still filming.
No, because if you do silent, if you do airplane mode.
I've done both.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and it's still filming, so we're good.
As long, if you, no. I don't know. Are the seconds taken away?
Yes.
Okay, so I started very well, then she botched up with my iPhone 44.
And
then iPhone
54.
So once again, welcome to the ZED101 podcast, where we discuss all things Zambia, everything Zambian. We talk about culture, we talk about the economy, we talk about the shenanigans happening in Mfumbwe or the gold rush in Pika. But then again, we also talk about politics. We talk about the ever-consuming, time-consuming nonsense that's happening in the political circles. But before we delve into that, I just want to welcome my dear friend, Mushan Mami.
We don't cry Mushan.
Yeah, I'm crying. You see, this welcome one is different from the other one.
Definitely.
Yeah. Last week, we spoke for 40 minutes without pressing record.
Imagine.
If you're a man, and the good thing is that, again, it was her fault. Imagine.
Wow. Would have been very bad had it been you.
So last time we met, you talked about going to the food market. How was it?
It was good. They're getting a bit more stricter with the under 16s. Sorry, the under 18s. So if you're under 18, you have to come with a parent. So there was. Have you got your national registration card? These kids don't walk around with their reg cards, so they had to leave.
No, but I like that because I've seen that it looked to a certain extent it to curb certain behaviors from not happening. It's good, and the rest of your week was good. Work was good.
It was a busy work week, just doing a lot. Yeah, enjoying myself as well.
Good.
So
now ask me.
How was your week?
It was the same as the other week. I will give you, as they say in Zambia, the honor of introducing our special guest. Please don't forget to observe all protocols.
Yeah, If you watched our last episode, we took the piss out of all protocols observed.
Okay.
So clearly he's carrying it on this time. What am I even going to say? Chabota's here and I'm happy he's here. What else can I say?
Can you say I'm riding on all protocols that have already been observed? So, sir, through our lady here, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. You're very welcome to our show. The only reason you're here, it's not like we like you. You've got a following. You are clickbait.
Thank you for the honesty.
Yeah, I mean, if we're discussing politics, we need to be more honest.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yes, Manji. Chabota is here, basically. Where am I? There. He's here for click, like, follow, subscribe. Hey, Chabota. But yes, we're very happy to have you here.
No, thank you very much.
How have you been?
Busy. There's a lot of work.
There's a lot of stuff happening.
There's a lot of stuff happening. Every day there's a problem. You could firefight the whole day, but you just have to pick your battles. But it's my week has been very busy. That's the best I can say. It's been very busy.
Good, good. Busy is good. Yeah, and I don't mind is the devil's workshop.
Very true.
I really don't know where that came from, but yeah, I think we've grown up with it. Aye, Mama.
I like that.
Yeah. Here in Zambia, there are a lot of devils.
That's the truth. There are a lot of idle people. Yeah.
So today, Malama came up with a very exciting topic for us to discuss.
Okay.
Following the judgment of the Lungu burial situation in
South Africa.
in Gauteng, we thought maybe before the fire dies down, we should have a go at it and see, get your opinion, discuss with people who are also like-minded and also who think broadly about generally what's happening in the Lungu case versus the government of Zambia. So basically, this is why you're here. It is beautifully titled, The Broken Legacy of Edgar Lungu. Hi, Mami.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a very strong title.
It is a very strong title.
Yeah.
It's not a very light case.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So as far as we're concerned, a lot of things could have been done better. But to start off the conversation, I thought you know what the topic is, and it's the broken legacy of Edgar Lungu. It involves all facets of his life.
That's true. And you know, just to say something about that, you know, when people die, their story ends just like that. But his story is still being written till now. Because somebody can, 2 months after his death, and his story is still being written.
And
you could write a book and continue about his legacy.
It's like it will speak more in his death than what he did
yes,
in his life.
There's some martyrdom to it. Like, okay, you know, he is now, what do they say, immortal now? At this point.
We're immortalizing him.
Yeah. So
if he was a Muslim, he'd be martyred.
Yeah.
He'd be martyred.
That's true.
Aye. No quite if Allah Akbar Lungu.
When are you
Nakana. I'm not part of this. Okay.
This is what happens in real life. People refuse the truth. They praise God and then burn the rest of you at the same time. But yeah, so we thought we explore the issues relating to the life and the death of Edgar Lungu. And we thought there's a paragraph or two that a script, value to be patient, we don't script our things.
These guys,
they just say
the comments are too much. Then they don't prepare, they don't have a script. She has the habit of saying whatever she wants.
She just goes off tangent. I saw Kapiri. Next thing she's in New York. But it's so weird because I am with the laptop here, and there are points that we follow. I'll get a nugget, throw it, and then we see if we can chew on it. Yeah. But some people think we just talk about that. But then we're not saying anything bad about them. As long as they're following us, they will learn one or two things. So, today's show, all right? We wanted to talk about this issue that has gripped Zambia and sparked intense debate. The illness, death, and subsequent drama surrounding our former head of state, Edgar Lungu. You need to notice that I don't call him doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, there are titles in these honorific titles which I find not earned, and they don't sit well with me. They just don't sit well. It's like Dr. Never's mom.
I understand.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah. So our friend Chabota, you are here to dissect this thing. I don't hold back. More so because you put on your status, you put Edgar Lungu there.
Yes.
Tefio.
Yeah.
So
it's my profile picture.
It still is, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to talk about the issue of the legal action, the death first, the mysterious circumstances surrounding him being registered under a false name, and also...
Do you want to read the paragraph?
I don't want to read it.
Okay.
Because it leads into the question.
Okay.
I don't want... All I want us to talk about is Chabota, according to Malama, you've made one of the most, you're one of the vocal voices on social media. And
that could be true.
And you're a very strong proponent of, you know, I'm sorry to digress now. Sorry, but I want to digress. Yeah, no, I'm digressing. When Chabota did the video,
which one?
The one about Edgar's death, the one you sent to me, I watched it, I'm like, Chabota was really that gripped about this man. Were you like really that close?
I wasn't close. I never met him. Okay, I never met him. I hoped one day I would, but I never did. I never got that chance. But I was, it touched me because you know that thing when you say like, okay, one day I would like to just sit down and ask him a few questions. Okay. I always wanted to ask him how, sure, he had a soft, calm demeanor, okay? You'd see, in a position of a president, there are not so many who still stay composed when they're under pressure. You could sense when there's some microaggression somewhere, like, yeah, this incident got to him, the way he phrased this, you can tell he's angry somewhere there. Even as much as somebody who try to compose themselves, you can tell, you know. But he rarely showed those signs. You would actually think he didn't even know about what's happening. Or if you asked him to comment, he would say it in a way like,
not much.
What happened? You explain it in a way that even just when you look at it this way, even when people used to critique him, insult him, he never really responded, or no matter how harsh people could critique him, he never showed signs like that got to him. And to me, that fascinated me because because I myself know sometimes even in my comment section, I'm forced to reply, to be as petty as that person. In as much as I'm not supposed to do that, but hey, I'm only human, I hit back. Sometimes they say things that are just too crazy to ignore, right? But him, he just basically ignored almost everything, you could say, anything that was said about him, which makes it different from what it is today. But there are so many things I would have wanted to ask him.
So let me ask you now.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
the question she wants me to ask. From your perspective, what is the single most defining moment in this entire story? The moment where this stopped being a family matter, a matter of family grief, and became a national crisis?
I believe where it went all wrong is at the beginning. Okay, when you make an agreement, stick to it. The agreement is where everything went wrong. Okay? When the family announced that the former head of state had passed, from there we were all expecting, okay, so the body is going to come back home. And then this has happened twice before. Okay, we already, Bamonawasa died, it didn't die in the country, same as Basata. So we all knew what the procedure is. Okay, they announce, then the body comes, we move on. And then the family had a request, okay, rather they demanded to say, okay, look, they said before in his last days, he said in the event that he died, he wouldn't want some people to attend his funeral, okay? And the family specifically or explicitly said, oh, in the event, he said in the event he died, Mr. Hichilema, they said Mr. Hichilema cannot attend the funeral, okay? There was a bit of, we were all shocked like, wow, this has never happened before, okay? There was a bit of some push-pull there, but they all came and said, okay, let's come to an agreement, let's sit. And I remember the state sent people there to go and negotiate with the family on what can be done and what not.
Yeah.
And they all came to an agreement. We all watched it on TV, okay? They made sure that everybody watched it. They agreed
Everyone
on what they want.
Everybody,
yes, everybody said. And they all compromised and agreed on one thing. And we were like, oh, problem solved. Only at the last minute, after the agreement, we even saw they released the program, how every step will be. Okay, we looked at it for like a day. Then in the late hours of the day, I think that was 1920, somewhere there, we saw what was allegedly a leaked program. It's like there were two programs. There's one they gave the family and one the state had, allegedly. So the one we saw was very different from what we were given publicly. Okay. There was one that said, when the body arrives, the president will preside over it. But no, this part wasn't in the first agreement we saw. Then the one which got everybody, the one which shocked the entire country, is when they said a short church service at the airport pavilion in a designated area. A church service at the airport, you know. So people started talking, and then now it reached a point. No, but church service ku bus station. You know, Zambians who, you know, like church service ku bus station. So people say, wait, there's a chapel at the station, at the church, at the airport. Oh yeah, people are like, oh, there is one, but is it large enough to fit a state? You know, so all that. So people started asking questions like, but why would they want to hold a church service? That didn't happen when Wasata's body came. It just from the airport, straight military honors. Okay, Bamwanawasa it was the same, but why should? And from there, they say that the other thing was that it would be invites only to receive the body. When Wasata came, it was anyone, everyone could go. Okay. Same as Bamwanawasa, but this one, why are they trying? They said, oh no, we will tell you who's going to come through over there. So people started saying, oh, well, this is very different from the last two state funerals we've had. And when we saw that plan, or rather the programming, a few hours later, in the morning the next day, the family just said the body is not coming. And then everyone was like, wow, what is going on? And then a few hours later, the family issued out a statement to say, no, they've breached the agreement. This is not what we agreed on. Okay, we had an agreement, but we are seeing all these leaked programmings, people calling us to say, oh no, they plan on changing everything. Immediately the body lands and they will have a different plan from what it is. And to me, the problem began from the agreement. Had the state, in this, because the state says they didn't break any agreement, but the family says, no, you did, okay? You changed things at the last minute without informing us. So to me, that's where everything started. Because had they just stuck to the agreement, by now. I mean, he would have been buried a week after that time.
So why didn't the family just rearrange the agreement? Why did they have to be all or nothing?
No. Here is the thing. Because look at it this way, Tanya. All right. I understand from the family's perspective, and here's why. Okay, they're in an emotional state than everybody else here. In as much as he was our president. No. Listen to this. Okay. Your family member, okay, happens to be the president. They die.
Ex-president,
yes. The way me and Bachanda will feel about that is somewhat different from how you feel. To you, he was more than a president. He could have been your brother. You were that close, okay? It was beyond us. If we could know it's you are president. So in the family's side, they were like, okay, look, the man passed on because the doctor said he delayed on his medicals. Okay, he was supposed to go for his medical checkups in 2023.
Why didn't he go?
He was denied.
There's no doctors here.
No. Listen, here's the thing.
There's no doctors here.
Unfortunately,
you couldn't have flown that doctor here to come and check you.
Tanya, we all know how our medical system is here. Okay, it's not.
You know, it's as though there's only one solution. Oh, he needed to leave the country. Why?
No, here's the thing. Unfortunately, this is just me now saying what do you call it? Story yamu mabiaolo. Okay? Politicians don't trust themselves. They don't trust each other.
No honor among thieves.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're like,
big thieves.
Ngana Pama ina soko palya. So they don't trust each other. This is very true. They don't trust each other. Yeah, but you see, in that time he wasn't, you know, he's last. He's in his 90s. There's not much of a political tension or a threat with the current head of state then. But this time was different. You see, the former head of state and the current head of state. They don't like each other.
Okay, let me ask you something, Chabota.
Yeah.
He finishes his presidencyship.
Yeah.
He says he's no longer president.
Yeah.
I've left politics. I don't know how long he was sick for, but I think he was sick a fairly long time.
Reported since 2015.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, as an ex member of state or whatever you call these things, right? He was given certain privileges, right? He would have been looked after based on those privileges if he had retired as he should have.
Yes.
He decided to come back into politics. And so now you become the opposition.
Yes.
So how do you want to be the opposition and to be considered as an ex-member of president or whatever?
So now I'll tell you.
Before you answer that,
Yeah.
I just want to add to what she's saying also. The level of medical attention you're giving to yourself at the level of presidency,
Right.
it's out of this world.
Very true.
You do that, people come to you.
That's true. Okay.
We don't know the kind of care he was giving himself, because 2015 he was already a cabinet minister. He was he's a president.
By that time, end 2015, he was president.
Yeah, he was president already.
Yeah.
So everything changes. You've got access to the best medical care, assumedly. Right?
Yes.
You've got access to money anyway, and it can't stop you from flying in people to come and assess you or flying out. So you can take it away from there, because Nala definitely valid.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Here is the thing. You see, when he retired from politics, it was right after inauguration. Papitire Kofi, is it 2 months after that, he said, okay, look, I'm done. I've retired. And he did. He retired for actually more than a year. He didn't participate. He didn't even make any comments. He just stayed out of it. I remember Twale Vamonako Notuma video, he had started a garden. You know, he just looked like, and then he never made a comment. Then I think, because this is something he said, I had retired, I had distanced myself from all this. It all started now when they started, I think, poking at him.
Who?
I mean, we saw so many statements from a lot of government officials who were daring him to say, oh no, because you see, like he said, when you are a politician, when you retire, you don't necessarily there are people who still come, they'll still come, maybe even ask for advice of certain things. You don't really disconnect yourself. So it happens that they didn't like that certain people would still go back to him and ask him, I know you've been president for so long. So to them, they thought, oh no, he's now working with the opposition, he's engineering them in the sense like that. So from there, they started daring him. No, if he wants to come back to politics, this is where Cornelius Mweetwa who said this, there's video evidence. He said,
but so what?
If he wants
if someone says that to you, so what?
Now listen, he said, if he wants to come back to politics, we dare him to come out. He didn't. He
doesn't need. I don't need to listen to your dare.
Yeah. Now listen to this, Tanya. That was on the heel of that. Okay. First they dared him. He didn't do anything. Okay. Then they went for his wife. Okay. They went for his wife. Oh no, she acquired property. You remember those?
She did.
Yes, but they said, oh, proceeds of crime. Went to court, which they gave her back to say, oh no, there was no.
The only reason the court gave her back is because those guys are down. The head of state said, do not prosecute until you have all the evidence. Yes. He's on record.
Yeah,
if people rush, and he specifically said, don't rush into doing anything.
And they did. Those were mistakes from the other guys. I think they were too excited. Okay.
The point is, the woman had no source of income. Justify what source of income? You know something we don't know?
No, not really. I'm just thinking
no source of income to justify the construction of those things.
of that
And
property.
if they're donating,
Well, her
coming from
husband
well
was
wishes.
president for 7 years. I mean,
Dude, do you know how much a
She
Zambian
didn't
president
build
gets?
it at the end of the presidency.
No.
She built it during the presidency.
Yes. It's not like, okay,
And still, where did that money come from?
Exactly. So
Okay,
the state of apparatus moved in.
yes, they moved in.
Now,
Now,
other than that, you also need to realize that the entire Patriotic Front regime was considered corrupt.
yeah.
Because suddenly, guys without pot bellies had pot bellies. Because they were eating food which they could not even understand.
Come on.
Two,
Come on.
umuntu arensha Toyota Vitz. Oranjinga. Next thing, uyo arensha, Tiptronic. Tiptronic Toyota VX. Ngari chichimotka chamuso shafurunga. Ashtwala mdichi. Next thing, a new one. But look, that's just humor. But the point is, the entire PF regime was considered to be corrupt.
Yeah.
Some were being probed, some were being caught.
That's true.
The problem that the government had was, even the guys who had transgressed, who had assumedly stolen, okay, were not prosecuted correctly.
Yeah.
That's why they are out. Now, based on that, you can't say thereafter. They saw things which did not make sense.
No, that's true. Now, here's the thing. I will not get into how the court cases were, because I do not know the full details. I never took the time to get into it that much.
No, agreed.
I'll just put it in the frame of what was happening, what we were seeing in the public, okay? So now, with those court cases, they came for the wife. He didn't do anything, basically. I remember he could escort her to court cases, so on and so forth. He didn't come back to politics. And then it reached a point where the things even he used to do when he was in president, he used to have those morning jogs with his friends and whatnot. They prevented him from doing morning jogs. They said it was politicking. He couldn't attend church anymore. They said it was politicking. They told him he couldn't go anywhere. It was politicking. So basically, he said, look, they are confining. I'm literally on house arrest without being charged, where they tell you, oh, no, you can't leave the house. You can't go to church. I remember the last time when he snuck out and went to church, there was a lot of problem at that church. So he couldn't even do the little things that...
But some of those problems come from his own people.
Yeah, but
they make so much noise and ruckus around him.
Yeah, but still more,
because
Tanya,
you can
look.
quite easily go to church and say nothing and sit
Yeah,
and
but you see, Tanya...
But why does the drama follow him?
Now, you see, it's not... Tanya, look, when you are a former head of state... I'll give you an example, okay? Where I am right now, I'm not equating my popularity to the former head of state. He was way, way, way more popular. When I go somewhere, somebody's going to spot me somewhere. You cannot, when you reach that level, you cannot hide.
Yes,
basically.
but the way people will react to you and the way people would react to the queen is very different.
Yes.
So there's a way that people will respond around you. And if you allow that kind of response, that's the type of people that will approach you.
But here's the thing. Even in times, because sometimes you would move secretly where the crowd, the public doesn't know. But still more. You see, in Zambian politics, unfortunately, because the church is considered, the church has influence, right, on the public. So when a politician is talking to a certain church, other politicians are like,
okay, then let's put it
there's
another
all
way.
this.
The assumption was that he had actually not fully retired. Otherwise, why would the government care? Why would they want to restrict you into your home unless you hadn't actually fully retired? Yeah,
but here's the thing. In as much as you say, okay, maybe they suspected he hasn't retired, he just said that. But Tanya, look at it this way. Even though he hadn't retired, you cannot restrict somebody from leaving their house.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's no smoke without fire. There's no whatever the saying is, right?
True.
So something was happening which made the government want to push back, if that was indeed what was happening, because there's a lot of hearsay.
Yeah. Now, what I'll tell you is this. One thing I have come to notice about, I've not done politics for a very long time, but there is a lot of insecurities among us politicians. Okay?
100%.
Every move you make, you worry. Why did they make that move? You see, you question each and everything. Even what could be innocent, they'll be like, that statement he said, that move he made. There is so much distrust
But
in
also,
politics.
there's the too much, I pretend I'm your friend.
Of course.
But I'm not your friend, but I'm making you do the thing that's going to make you cause a problem. And
That's
I see
true.
that a lot more on the PF side. You know, I think they pushed him to go back to politics, and he really shouldn't have, and he didn't need to listen to them. But everyone was riding on his coattails.
Yeah. Okay, now here is the thing, Tanya. They brought him back. PF brought him back when there was an assault on PF. PF started to feel like, okay, you know that thing where you're...
Assault.
What I mean, I don't mean in assault like on the party.
Yeah. We get it.
You see, the PF party, when they started seeing a lot of, in Mingalato, they believe...
That's the second time I've seen this. What does this word mean? You said
it's
it last
trickery, dribbling, but... Yeah,
dribbling.
Aren't you part Bemba? You should know this.
She's
English Bemba.
Okay, I get it.
I'm from the Babemba.
The Babemba. No, that was terrible.
So what he's saying is that there are a lot of inside dealings that they thought were happening against the PF being externally influenced.
Yes, because the thing is this, word got out that the ruling government wanted to kill the party.
Okay, and if you take the history of Zambian politics, invariably that is what
happens.
Yeah,
exactly. So now, yes, in as much as that is it's a culture. This part, it's a culture.
UNIP is around.
Barely.
Yeah. Okay. I'll no comment there. But now, here's what I'm saying, right? In as much as we say it's a culture where you want to kill off the other party so they can never return, right? But they always fight back. They try
But also, the same party members leave themselves. You're
course,
the ones
yes.
who leave your party to go join another one.
Here's the thing: the PF are not a very clever party.
Well, I am not going to. I'm not going to analyze their IQ here.
I will tell you.
Yeah.
The reason ECL came back is because within themselves, amongst themselves, they had nobody they could prop up. Somebody that could create into this force of nature to propel the party forward.
Yeah.
Invariably, the party was going to disappear.
Yeah. Now you see, and this is where the problem is, and this has been a tradition in Zambian politics. After UNIP died, after UNIP was booted out of power, right? We expect. I'm sure people thought, okay, who's going to be the next after Kaunda?
The next Kaunda.
There wasn't.
Yes.
Okay. MMD same. Yeah. When MMD was booted, that's the thing. So even it's more like a trend, and this is the question that
because even now,
even
whatever her name is, what's her name? Lungu's daughter,
Tasila Lungu.
She's the one they're going to put as the face.
Why? I think I don't think.
Idiot who's proposing.
Those are opinion polls that people are throwing around there. But now look at it this way, and it's like a tradition, right? It's the same as how the current administration, the UPND, I can't remember who asked this question. No, Dr. Sishua, okay, the one in SA, wrote an article to say, by UPND, when you leave power, who do you have next? Because the way you guys function is like the way everybody else functioned, where we don't see anyone who would be like, okay, maybe Uyu. Everything is surrounded by the president, is the only one who sticks out. It seems like...
But also, Chabota, there's no sense of like, there must be replacement leadership. The problem is, each one of them are like crabs. If I want it, I don't want you to have it. And then I may not have the intellect, know-how, experience to even be a leader. So now it's an issue of greed. But you don't want me to be a leader.
So that's an issue of greed now. You see, the thing is this. The problem I've noticed in politics
and that's
is
where we've lost
everybody who believes they can be at the top.
Exactly.
Even those that, look, let's be fair here. Okay, let's be fair. There are some people, you tell them, like, but I'm down all over Malaysia.
Exactly.
But here's the thing.
And it's so blatantly obvious.
But I discovered that there are some people...
I can even say Lungu was not even a presidential candidate.
No, he wasn't.
And yet now you want to raise him up as though he was some kind of
But
wonderful...
here's the thing, he was still president for 7 years.
No, because when he finished his term, there was no replacement, which is what we're just saying. He wasn't actually a good leader.
You tell me who in the patriotic front.
Guys, we have totally gone off topic.
Yeah, that's the thing. You keep asking me more questions.
I know!
Finish the other question, okay? But here's one thing I'll say, okay? The politicians who have political parties that we all know that you're probably the only one in this party.
100%,
you know?
Yeah.
I discovered that they too know, like, we cannot win. But, you know, they get these monies from these donor aids, like, we are pushing for democracy.
You're talking about a specific person.
No, I'm not. There are many. I am not going to say.
He only shows up when elections happen. He gets his donor money. He runs his campaign. He takes 70% of the money, and then he comes back in 4 years' time. Is it 5 days?
I know nothing.
I
know nothing. I know
That's the thing. Okay, so others it's just a money venture. They know I've never
100%.
been president, but hey, I could make I'll make an easy $25,000 out of this, you know, and So in politics, and this is something that we've been talking about as young people, to say, look, guys, if this is going to work, we need to be a little bit different. Look, these guys have shown us, in as much as we've had 3 different political parties so far. 4. Okay?
What
4,
do you mean?
sorry.
For when?
4. UNIP, MMD, PF now, UPND.
Okay.
But in as much as they're different, they still have this, they're basically the same at the end of the day.
They're the same people!
Right? Of course.
Everyone has copied UNIP's constitution.
Exactly.
None of them original in any way.
That's true. And even just the way they structure.
UNIP defense comes up.
Number structure.
Why aren't we talking about Edgar Lungu's death?
I don't know. It's because you asked me more questions. I even got lost.
The question was that we understand where the turning point was for you. You've explained.
My turning point,
Now, there's an argument for and against government.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right now, there was a case which was, the judgment was passed yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Okay. So, on Monday, they went to court and there were deliberations and whatnot. There was a dodgy lawyer from the Lungu family. We don't know where they got him from.
Yeah, he looked very unsure.
But there's a gentleman who's part of the Tonse Alliance who said, on record, you find it on Facebook, I'm not accusing him of this. He said, it looks like the lawyer has been compromised. I don't know why he was thinking like that. And that is your typical Zambian thinking.
Okay. You know, the challenge is this. I will defend the family on that one.
You defend him, but all right.
Sure.
The point is, a member of the Tonse Alliance comes up and says, it looks like the lawyer has been compromised. So, in my opinion, in my thinking, and I know Malam is going to back me up here, they chose the guy.
Okay, yeah.
They had time. They've been living in South Africa for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
They chose the guy.
Okay.
They are paying shitloads of money.
They've been there since January. What do you mean 2 months? They've been there since...
Let me
revise. It's been 2 months since he died.
Okay.
The lawyer.
Yeah, so they could have found a lawyer who they would not have deemed compromised. Where that man was coming from, I don't know. But here's the thing. When the deliberations were done on Monday, the judgment was reserved for Friday. They came and used certain things which their own lawyer was using against his own clients, if you remember very well.
Yeah,
and they passed judgment, and there was precedence.
Yeah.
And there's also evidence that even the late president had enforced certain things. At one, minister level when he was Home Affairs Minister, and when they were in charge as president, when his Minister of Foreign Affairs or whatever it was, said, no, the burial of the late President Kaunda will be here, not if you had a fire issue. Now, our question is, our point of argument now is, what are we taking? Public interest and national protocol.
Okay, so
versus Badabambi.
The family. Okay, so I will explain this. All right. First, let's go to the Tonse member who said that lawyer looks compromised. I don't know how he... Okay, I'm not going to... Maybe he knows what we don't. But here's one thing I'll say.
Yeah.
From an outsider perspective, from the general public, okay? When I think it comes that... Let's call it a theory on his part for now, since there's no proof or evidence, right? Yeah. So his theory is probably stemming from the alleged Chavinga voice recording where those two were discussing to say that, hey, look, we plan on paying the judges and the lawyers, and then we plan on staging protests.
No, remove the lawyers, just judge.
The judges, and then Judge Afwiriaria, right? And we plan on staging protests in South Africa and back home here. So when that audio leaked out, many people became alert, okay? So now we are like, let's see what's going to happen. It's that video, that audio, it's almost like it was preemptive, okay? In the sense, listen to...
You like conspiracies.
No. It's not that I like conspiracies, okay? They've come out, they haven't denied. First, look at this. When the audio came out, it was AI. All right? No, listen.
No, I agree. I'm with you.
Yes, they said it was AI.
Absolutely.
Then a few days later, no, it's not AI. In Parliament, the Vice President was asked, was it AI? She said, no, it was just a suggestion between two people discussing. Exactly. All right? So now, Bambo Kukana. So now,
help me, man. Please,
Now, from that time, and then the lawyers start acting a little bit different after that recording. So everybody starts thinking, from what we got from that audio.
I don't even doubt people were thinking that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, you cannot leave this out, because right now as we speak, the youth Sadiq lawyers are taking the Zambian government to court over that same leaked audio. So now you see it's getting serious, right? The Sadiq lawyers.
No, they're going to do it, yes.
Yeah, because they believe like, hey, an audio came out of a member of parliament speaking to a cabinet minister. They were having a discussion on how they are going to bribe a judge of another jurisdiction. That's a serious thing. So now, from there, you see, what started something we could have dismissed, like it's just an audio, but other countries are taking it seriously.
Yes, because in other countries it does get taken seriously. Yes, and like a lot of things in this country,
where you
talk, but you don't know what to do, so then the story dies. In the UK, that would be an investigation that happens.
No. In the UK, that man would have resigned.
Yeah,
the woman would have resigned as well.
And that's what we were expecting, but it didn't happen. And the fact that there wasn't even any proper investigations carried in, and no one was called to say, hey, come and explain yourselves, what is this audio? Nobody was called.
He went
for another thing. He was called for another, because the guy is
very... Was he called for the audio?
No, he wasn't called for the audio. He was called for when he made a press briefing and said he'll take his matters in his own hands. He'll start beating people up. Yeah. So people were expecting him to be called for the audio, but he was called for another thing. So now, so I understand where the Tonse individual said that, where it was coming from. Like, hey, we've already heard certain people saying they are trying to do these things. And then we start seeing our lawyers acting very funny. We are very suspicious on our end.
Our lawyers?
Our lawyers, yeah, it's, look.
Which lawyer?
The family lawyer starts acting.
He's not our lawyer. He's the family lawyer.
I'm not saying, look, family lawyer, but since from the Tons, I was speaking from the Tons's perspective. But in a family, they're together with the family.
You see, if you are happy with your own voice, like the gentleman who made that statement, he would need to find something to say all the time.
Yeah, well.
The day before the judgment, what did he say? When we win tomorrow. Same gentleman. Following day was different outcome.
Yeah, it was a different
outcome.
Now you see that judgment. I understand in the sense of where they were coming from in thinking the judgment will go in their favor. Okay, I think it's the family. I think it's how this whole matter started, okay? Before it even went to court, the minister, let's just call him the Minister of Foreign Affairs from South Africa, said...
Ronald Lamola.
Yes, Ronald
Lamola.
Lamola, yes, said, we are of the view that the body of the former head of state should be buried in his homeland. But our laws here and our constitution says the people with the power here is the next of kin, which is the family. They are the ones who get to decide if he can be buried in South Africa or back home in Zambia. But as the government, we believe he should be buried in his land. But our law says we cannot force the next of kin. That's what he said. And when he came to Zambia, he said the same thing.
Let's just dive into this, right?
Yeah.
None of them actually officially live in South Africa.
Yeah,
Wait, let me finish the question. None of them officially live in South Africa.
Agreed.
They do have a home. Yeah. We saw the 50 cars and all of that nonsense stories.
Allegedly.
No, those are not.
So, and let's say that they would have buried him, and then they come back 2-3 years, but they're all here. But their father is over there. Where is the sense in wanting him to be buried over there?
Okay.
Hence the question for you to address public interest and national protocol.
Okay. So when it comes into, before we jump into the public interest, okay, it all comes down to this. The family has, they don't have permanent residence. It's just temporal, okay? Then story got out that they had purchased a home. From there, now what happened, in my view, okay, the burying of Lungu was an afterthought. It wasn't what they initially wanted to do. Like I said this earlier, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier.
After the disagreement.
After
that's when it flipped.
But Chabota, even just listen to that. It's like anger in the family is what's doing the talking.
It is.
Not even the real desire of the family themselves. It's like spite against HH. Whatever HH has done, I don't know what HH has done to Lungu, but everything they do is a response with spite. Yeah. None of their responses feel like genuine. This is the right thing for us to do.
Now let me explain it from their point of view. Okay, maybe I can
make us understand.
Yeah, since I can look it from their point of view. All right, it goes back to what I said earlier when we started this discussion. Okay. The family is coming from they're looking at it from an emotional point of view. Okay. Listen. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm telling you this.
Let's do a timeout. You'll continue. Yeah. What she said, plus what I'm going to add. I'm basically saying what she said in another way.
Yeah.
Whatever, however, we have to have it our way. Regardless. Of whether we are right or wrong, regardless of the people of Zambia requiring this, we don't care as long as
we get our way.
We get our way.
Okay.
FOFD.
Okay.
FOFD.
All right.
So what she's saying is, I'm sensing a lot of hate. So everything else not considered.
They're not even logical.
It's just because you start thinking.
Okay. So
to conclude my point. There is a thing they're trying to avoid.
Yes.
There is an avoidance of a very big thing, which they know, look, if we bury here, stay here. That's why conspiracy theories are flowing around.
You know what? Let me just finish the point I was about to make, then I'll get to that. All right? So, now, look at it this way. And the reason why I say, in as much as we may want to look at it from... like you said, national interest, the public as well, they have to put into consideration this man was a former head of state.
Yes.
Okay? All that is something that I believe they understand. Makebi Zulu, I don't know how well you've been following this. Their lawyer said this on Emmanuel Mwamba Verified 2 days ago. He said this. Like, look, we've never refused to bury back home. They never did. And at the beginning of this discussion, I said this. They never refused. Their idea, they had accepted their arrangements. A plane was booked.
And the point is, it's the antagonism with HH that is the center of this. But it's nothing to do with their family. Why are they so in a moment of family.
Yeah, but I cannot answer that for them,
Why do they want to be focusing on HH?
Yeah, now listen, this is where we're getting, okay? I cannot answer on...
I'm not asking you to, I'm telling you,
yes.
There's other things which seem to focus on what we don't truly know, and I don't expect you to know. You're not in the family, I'm not in the family.
So now, this is where, from what I've heard and from what they have said, and even what was in the court proceedings, okay, what their arguments were, they said, look, the man that passed on here, okay, there were many instances starting from 2023. Now let me finish this time, because I can see your expression that you're about to interject. Now let me finish. From 2023, because he used to go for routine medical checkups every 3 to 6 months, okay? He would go for medical checkups. And 2023 was the first time they denied him to say he wants to go for medical checkups. Sure, he could have done it in Zambia, but we already talked about how these people don't trust their own medical system, which is very funny for politicians, okay?
It's a shame.
It's a shame, actually. And it's an African thing, unfortunately, you know? So, they denied him. They told him, by that time, he had not come back to active politics, okay? They said, the government told him, we have no money to take you for medical checkups.
Do you think the Lungu family has the interest of the nation at heart?
Not at all.
At this point, I would say they are, right now what matters to them is they are...
That says no.
No, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to just outrightly say. No, it's not about a politician Africa here. Look, I cannot just answer in absolute.
Yeah, okay.
No, I will not. I will not, simply because I understand from both sides. I cannot just be like that. That's not fair, right? One thing I'll say is this. I cannot accuse them to say they don't care about the country. No, they do. Why? Because they never refused. I would have been against the family. Immediately he died, they say, Tatulesa mkushika ku Zambia. But they've never refused that. Okay. Their fear, look, I don't know how many times they have to sing this.
Don't use that word fear. You remove the word fear.
Okay, their concern.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Their concern is that when the body comes here, okay, things will go bananas. For them. No, hold on a second. Like I told you, okay?
No, there's the next question coming.
Yes.
Where
Sorry,
now
I like specifics. I don't like words that could be so ambiguous to mean nothing.
Okay.
So specifically, what could happen?
All right. So now, with what the family has been saying with the statements they've said, like, look, they don't believe the state can hold a dignified funeral for the former head of state simply because of how he was treated before his death.
No, the movies continue delaying this thing until it comes to a position where the thing is advantageous for them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Until they get their point.
Because right now it's a win at all costs. So, legal precedent.
Okay.
The government's lawsuit establishes a legal precedent that protects the state's right to honor its former leaders, preventing future disputes that could embarrass the nation, which has already happened. It clarifies the line between personal wishes and national duty as such matters. Now, Tanzania is very explicit when it comes to burying a current or former
They
head
have
of
it
state.
in their constitution.
No problem.
They have it in their
South Africa
constitution.
doesn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
The clerk died, and he made some pronouncements, and the government followed those pronouncements. Here, the people fighting this were the first people to bar the other families from going against what the state wanted. They stopped Kaunda being buried here, where he wanted rather.
Yeah, he wanted to be there.
As the former head of state who passed away was Home Affairs Minister, he denied Rupiah Banda from going to access medical help from outside the country. So now, in this instance, what footing do they have, really, to justify the prolonged, the continued waste of time for the Zambians who are waiting for this corpse to come?
Yeah.
All right? Legal precedent has been established already. Given Luminda actually said those things, if you remember, that no. The wishes of the family cannot outweigh the needs of the country.
Of the country, yeah.
Yes. So now, how do we defend them?
At this point, to defend them, how do I say this? I want to rephrase this in a
Don't use the word fear.
no. I want to use that term. When it comes to defend, at this point, I don't think there is. I would go out and say I would defend. Okay, because to be honest with you, I will speak this. All right. I understand from the family's point of view, because for them it's basically, in my understanding, most of their decisions could be coming from an emotional point of view. Let's just be realistic here.
Definitely.
Okay?
It's nothing but nothing else.
Then from the state, it's he was a former head of state. This is how it's going. This is how it should be, like everybody else.
You know why it doesn't look good for them? Because they are the party.
It doesn't look
good.
It doesn't look good for both sides.
When all the other
other things happened.
That's true. Yeah.
And not only was it the party in charge, he was head of state.
Yeah.
Before becoming head of state, he was Home Affairs Minister.
Yeah.
He denied Rupiah Banda from going to access at the airport. If you remember very well.
Yeah.
He had gone to the airport. The immigration people and whatnot were now in 6s and 7s. They did not know what to do. The thing that followed later was them denying the burial of Kaunda Venakaweche, where
I know. I remember Kaunda. His wish was to be buried next to his wife.
yes.
You know, it's at this point. What I'll say is this. Okay, this case has dragged so much. Okay, beyond what we all thought it would go to.
Yeah.
All right.
It's tiring.
Yeah. It's even I for one. It has started. I'm starting to feel some fatigue over it.
You know, in
okay?
Monday I can't lie. I'm so indifferent. I really don't care.
No, I know.
I don't care for either party.
I know, Chanda, you're a unique gem. The thing is this, what I would say is the family is in a very difficult spot at this point. If I was them, in as much as they, you see, like you say, there was no written agreement to say Bamdala said this. That's where things have fallen apart for them. Okay, maybe if he wrote it on a piece of paper somewhere, it could have happened. Now,
but also here's what happens in law. There's no the law it applies the same way to everybody here.
Yeah.
You know the difference between when you're arguing a point. It's just who convinces the judge better than the other.
That's true.
No,
Sharp one.
No.
But you also have to have some legal backing for that. It's not just how sweet your song was.
No, let me finish.
Yeah.
They have the same facts. They presented the same facts. The government lawyer argued better than the family lawyer. Same facts. The guy says, this guy is talking about agreement. Yes, here's the agreement.
Yeah.
He's talking about what? Here it is. Then two, he got what I've just brought up, the precedent thing. The other guy brought everything up.
Okay, so now here's what I'll tell you, where that's why the family thinks the judgment falls apart. When you heard what the judge said on why they've made the decision to rule in favor of the state, they said to the, I've forgotten how it was phrased. I'm paraphrasing here. Legalese is a very difficult thing. He said, following the laws of Zambia, the decision is influenced based on the laws of Zambia to say the president should be buried at Embassy Park, so on and so forth. He said it in that manner. But the problem is there is no law like that.
Exactly.
So that's where that judgment started having a little cracks, because we all came like, where in the Constitution
when
does
did
it say?
that whole thing start about burying at this memorial park?
It started when Manawasa died in 2008.
Who brought it? Who dreamt this idea up?
I think Arabi, let's say Arabi, because in 2008 it wasn't Parikoka space paria, let's go bury there. It was never really written into
this
stone.
Issue you guys are talking about is what has really screwed it up, because it's sentiment. Even when I was doing my other research, it's based on sentiment. No law backing this. That's why they were saying our name Tanzania.
They have now you remember I had made a video specifically about this. I had said I was basically breaking down what Council John Sangwa was saying.
Yes.
The challenge we have here in Tanzania, and he gave Tanzania as an example. Tanzania, it's written in the constitution, when the former head of state dies, the government will inform the family, then they'll tell them what will happen. The government will handle everything from the burial site, the coffin, whatever, everything that is needed, all the way to the last drop, okay? In Zambia, we don't have that. All we've been doing this far with the previous, with the other presidents, right?
Yes.
Has been sentiment. And the thing is this, sentiment can be denied in court. Okay, I cannot just come and I cannot force you to do something. You cannot force me to accept your sentiment or whatever.
Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
So now, and this is where the judgment fell apart. Not really fell apart, but it had holes. Because the judge said with the laws, then people came out and said, but there is no law to say that the president should be buried at Embassy Park. There is no law that says
But I think what the problem is that you've had so many presidents, we have had so many presidents die in such a short consecutive amount of time. Whereas normally, people would have maybe got over the idea of this memorial park business, right? But it's become like, oh, now I'm enough for Nawala Yapapin. Now I'm for Nawala Yapapin.
Because you see, this issue could have been fixed from, sorry, I'll here now I'll blame my MMD. Why?
No, I'm not.
No. Because here's the thing. When Bamwanawasa died, he had said this on TV to say, in the day I die, I wish to be buried kufami yandiku Palavana. He said, I want to be buried on my farm in Palavana. And when he died, the family stood up saying, I know, we are burying in Palavana because that's what he desired.
I think they should all be taken out of Memorial Park and put exactly where they wanted.
That's what many people have been thinking about. Because you see, now you see, exactly. Now you see,
the Embassy Park, not Memorial Park.
I don't know what
that's Memorial Park. Now you see where the issue, right? Okay. Bamwanawasa had also said that he wants to be buried on his farm in Palavana.
They all
the family, yes, the family actually, when he died, the family said, "Eko tuleshika." Barupia, bakana. You understand?
Yes.
So had we fixed that problem then?
But I'm saying this is an opportunity to still fix it.
Yeah. So
if the Lungu family, they're not actually, they don't care where he's buried. They just don't want HH. So it's not even the same problem.
It's
right?
not the same problem. But here's the thing. It's not the same problem, but it all falls into, because here's the thing. If the law, like the Tanzanian law says, like, oh, the president has to preside over the funeral, okay? Us also on top of that, there is no law that says President HH should preside over the funeral. You see, so that's where the issue is. Had we fixed this earlier, all this could have been avoided.
But we can't do what's in the past.
Yeah, no, we can't do it.
So future-wise, what can we do?
Yeah, and in the future, what with all this confusion that we've had so far, the best we can do is we need to, this is what we should be amending now in the Constitution, and instead of the stupid Bill 7. This is what,
he has to bring in Bill 7.
Stupid. I know, of course, it's stupid, and there are so many reasons. Now, okay, the thing is this. These are problems that we can avoid.
Chabota,
with this problem.
We play too much in this country.
Tulangala, we always look at the wrong problems. In fact, we create problems
to live for the
because they conjure the problem that didn't exist. Oh, let's amend the Constitution because of this. Bro, no one was even asking for that. But now, going back to it, the way forward right now, what I can say is, when we amend the Constitution, because I know, because it's the same argument they've been saying. You see, there are lots of, what's going on? Okay, now.
Series.
Right. So now, you see, in Zambia, there's so many things we've been doing out of tradition.
Yep.
Okay, and this funeral issue is also an issue of tradition, and that's where there are problems.
100.
Yes. My tradition, but tradition is not law. That becomes a different.
Exactly.
Okay, it's the same as the issue of State House. Okay, you remember that time when President Trump's first term when he said, oh no, I would live at my own house. And then they say, no, the Constitution says you have to live in White House. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you have a better house than White House. It doesn't matter, but that's where the American people want you to be. It's in the public interest because the public wanted it to be.
Sorry to cut you short, but you see, for America, if you want to say land, there's always something that backs it.
And that's the thing.
If you look at the presidents that have never lived in the White House, there were reasons. There's a time the White House was bombed.
Yes, I remember.
So this
in fact, that thing
lived here. They had to make changes. I think three presidents or something.
Though in fact, there were many times.
We play too much.
Exactly. So now you see, it's the same issue because I remember people were bringing this up to say, okay, if we're going to do these things in the public interest when they are not backed by law, like the court case yesterday, you're saying it's in the public interest, but it's not backed by law. So, okay, if we're going to do things that way, we also expect President Hakainde Hichilema to move into State House tomorrow.
There's a lot. But
you see, because there is no law that says he should be in State House, but in public interest, because all the presidents we've had before him lived there. So he should also move from community house and move
were they as wealthy as he is?
Are they? No, it doesn't matter whether they were wealthy as he
that's
was.
That's the reason Trump basically gave as to why he did
but
and the whole point of them moving to status is to show the status of our president.
Now
that he can't be living in Kalingalinga next to the normal person. He has to be in a place that's safe, secure, well looked after, all of those things.
But here's the thing. Thank you to the late former President Bachiluba. Okay, he who graced the Zambian people by showing us the underground bunkers and tunnels that were in State House. But guess what? Community House doesn't have those safety measures. In fact, they've had to retrofit State House. Somebody took a drone shot. Community House that they've pimped it out to fit a president. It now has 2 helipads. It didn't have that. It has all these security details that it didn't have.
Most stuff has to evolve. It can't stay as is.
That's true.
Right? So even the concept of, okay, if he wants to stay at his house, how do you then make it safe? Right? Those tunnels were not built in 1964 when State House was built.
They were built back in 1913 or so.
The place evolved to then end up how it is. And there's probably a lot that State House could do with evolving to still have that it doesn't have.
Now, Tanya, if that's the case, that means the next coming 10, 15 presidents should all have their houses retrofitted to fit in a president.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying State House needs to be built in a manner that does mean that he has to then move into because I want to see someone go to, what's his place called? I don't know.
Community House.
And then try and invade, and that will force him to think, oh shit, I better than move into State House. My point is, until there's antagonism that's enough to make him wake up, he's not going.
They then pinned her down.
But
she didn't go with the AK-47.
Okay, now look at it this way. Okay, now if that's the case, because already he has proved that the community house is not the best place to be in. Why? Because he doesn't even work from there. Every day. Okay, I live Kuchilenje. Okay, we hear sirens most of Tunya Road. I'm sure I'm Mfako somewhere. I know you're too far from here. But here is this: every day, okay, in the morning, we to State House. We at 12 hours for lunch. We back to State House. We back 18 hours. Every day. Think about first of all. So now, is it in the public interest that because somebody, in fact, Bashon Tembo question like, how much are we spending ferrying this guy 6 times a day?
Everything in Zambia, once you bother to look at the numbers, you'll see that there's a lot of areas we need to make.
That's the thing. So now, is it in the public interest that, boss, this is taxpayers' money that could have been used for something else than making you move every day?
Let the family bury Lungu. Put that money that would have been put for that state funeral into schools. Please stop building 1-block schools. Build a whole fucking school with the money that you are going to build, that you are going to pay for this funeral. That's my decision.
Moving on to the next point. As we wrap up that point, the court upheld the principle of pacta sunt servanda, which says
Latin
agreements must be kept.
Sure.
Now,
handshakes were made.
rejecting the family's claims that no genuine or enforceable agreement existed. Period. How it was argued in court, it was translated in that manner by the court in South Africa.
Now, that's what makes the question. So the court is saying there was no agreement that was made?
No, they are saying because of that agreement which we brought up later,
yes,
which the family decided to say was violated.
Yes,
that's what they were sticking to.
So now you see, and
as in stick to the original agreement.
Yes, because that's now you see it goes back. The family had said that why don't we just go back to the first agreement we made before even they went to court? Okay, the reason they stopped the repatriation, it's because word got out here that the people here are about to breach the agreement.
That's what Tanya was saying. Yeah. Why could they not say, guys, can we revisit this?
Yeah, no, they tried. They tried to say it, but by that time, things were already tense. Next thing, court cases after the thing, you know. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I said, look, had the government just stuck to what they both agreed on, kakare twalabako. Because here's the thing. One thing I've noticed about people that are grieving, they're very sensitive. No, this is just the truth, okay? The last thing you want is to start them to start doubting you.
There are different types of sensitive.
But here's the
style of sensitivity this family has chosen.
Tanya, niku Africa kuno. Please
my family
understand.
would not have chosen this style of sensitivity. My family would never have sworn in court like that woman swore in court. We don't come from a family like that.
Yeah, okay, so now now here's the thing, okay? It goes back to this issue. I don't want to use the word.
Even you were touched, man.
Because not only that. When the agreement was published, because they published the agreement. Oh, both parties have agreed, so on and so forth. Meaning,
who published that report?
The first
the agreement.
The government did this. So it was all
official.
The official. It was official and a dead stamp. We know here. You know, the first agreement, the one they sat in a meeting. They published it. All of us knew about it. We discussed. Okay, I just didn't talk about it, but it was on all media platforms.
Do the three of us agree, or the two of us? Do we agree with what she said?
Like
that. What was wrong with them revisiting that? Because I agree. I think they should have simply said, okay, not for me, before that we agreed. Who's breached this? Can we, guys, didn't we agree that we should not do this? Yeah. So with them, it was final. You breached this.
Because you know, here's the thing, they could have revisited they could have said, you know, let's make another agreement. But it's an issue of, you know, like we say, agreements are agreements. It's also an issue of almost, it's an issue of trust at that point. Because you see, on the family's end to say, but twalila nshanya, tuamfwa nefia lachitika. Then a few hours before the repatriation to Hambokumona, ama second agreements, which we didn't agree with different things in there. So now, to them it was like, so if you can break the first agreement, what makes us believe you won't break the second one? Also, in an issue of this, because look at it this way, okay?
But then sometimes you go through breaking agreements till you get to a final agreement. I'm not justifying it. I'm saying you don't just book out. And this is still the attitude that the family has. Fuck it, then we're out of this.
Yeah, but yeah, of course. And look, I understand them to that degree, okay? First of all, what was the reason for the state to break the agreement?
I don't know. We don't know what
and you see, they've never come to explain to anyone.
But also,
what makes you think it was the state that made the agreement?
What do you mean?
That broke the agreement?
That's what happened. No, it's not that. No. Hold on a second. It's not the family. In fact, here's one thing. If you followed it, okay, the agreement was made like Bapanga agreement. The whole country knows what the body is coming. The body is coming per Wednesday. We were all prepared Wednesday.
Yes.
The body is coming on Wednesday. Plane has been prepared. Military honors. The military. Everything was set. We all knew what the procedure was. Guys, the public body viewing for the public will be on this day. Maybe for yapa 16. It was like that. People were decided. We already knew everything was set. Then on Tuesday night, documents started leaking. Documents. And now, these days, I'm sorry, these days there are a lot of documents that have been leaking. Problem is that the state hasn't come out to say, that's the thing. But you know, they're not, if they are denying, they're not using a very...
But you know, this also comes down to the point what we were saying is that, that I will say that I was saying, is this autocratic way that he's been leading, right? Everything leads up to the top, and no one else can really stand out as though it was their choice or it was their, you don't get to take ownership. So I think that's why a lot of things people don't say at because all of it really hinges on him.
It's a pyramid,
so no one can say Awe, it wasn't us, it was Wakateka. And then he's also not going to say, no, it was me.
So that's now you see, when, and you see, social media these days, it's just, in 5 minutes you will be everywhere. You see, when those documents started leaking, and they leaked 20 hours, 19-20 hours, Papa. And guess what? After they leaked, people started saying...
He likes to work until midnight, I heard. That's how long. That's what happens. He works until midnight.
No comment there. So now, after that, you see, after those documents leaked, people are saying, I don't think body Africa might. And guess what? That's what happened.
Okay. Few minutes to go. Can we talk about, we know there's a lot of crap that has happened, but there's a call to reconciliation here.
Yeah.
How do we manage that? The entire saga has exposed deep political and personal rifts.
Yeah, and
there's hate and there's hurt. Hey, from all sides.
Yeah.
The Zambians are pissed. They feel hurt. The Lungus are in a certain perspective as well. So is the ruling party and the head of state.
What I'll say here, okay, I'll give 3 different perspectives. The family, I don't know what reasons they have to be very strong on this. They should have shown a bit of some flexibility in certain instances, okay? That's one thing I'll say on their part. I understand where they're coming from, because it's their loved one, it's different, but they should have shown a bit of some flexibility. They should have at least say, okay, let's, like Tanya said, let's come up with a new agreement and stick to it. Yeah. And then on the other side, okay, the state also, how they handled the, first of all, derailing from the first agreement was the problem, they should have stuck to it. Okay, and then when the agreement was broken, the state did not recover very well, because the first thing they did when the body did not come, the president quickly cancelled national mourning. Okay, you remember? I remember. He should have not been too quick to do that. And the worst part is, after he cancelled the national mourning, right, on TV, which we all watched, the next morning they started telling us, no, the president did not cancel national mourning. He was just... it was a very ridiculous. So basically they were telling us what we saw on TV was a lie, right? AI. It was AI. Okay, then on the part or another thing, if you want the family to bring the body here, but at the same time you're kind of giving them to Malo jabs, like what Cornelius Mweetwa said on South African TV, to say, in fact, the family has got a lot of wealth that they have not explained, they are in so many corrupt cases. That wasn't the best time to do that. You are trying to negotiate with these people, and then you are also making them look bad on international television. I don't know how he was thinking that was going to work, because you're trying to shame them at the same time. You're slapping them in the face.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, you're right. And in a way, the government's negotiation skills were very poor on their part. Okay. Then on the public side, The public has been pretty split on this issue, okay? There are people who say, no, let them just bury that side to Koleseba President, which I don't think is the right thing to go about it. Then on the same, there are people who say, no, he was our former head of state. It's only fair he comes back home, we bury him in our land. And then sadly is that, politicians need to start now muzzling their supporters to a degree. Even when your supporters are speaking against the opposition or against the party, but they should tell them, hey, you can't say that. Like yesterday, when the ruling came out to say, when the ruling was made that the court has favored the state, right? Ruled in favor of the state. We saw people who are UPND affiliates. Okay, the statements they made were not really cool. Kese akatumbi,
Yeah.
Those were even and like that guy Bikiloni guy, the Bikiloni.
I didn't see this.
Yeah, he went.
There was a video. We'll throw it.
Yeah, he went and said. I don't know what kind of courage one would even have to say that. And then what makes it worse is that the fact that he's UPND affiliated, he makes such a statement, and no one brings him to book. The people say, Kai, you are UPND and you said that because under any circumstances you should have been arrested for that statement you said, but no one has even called you to come to answer, And then on top of that...
They'll call him in 9 months.
Yeah, and...
I'm joking.
And then even some media, even some, officials, some officials in the ruling party, they could go on Facebook, it's coming home, hey Shan, it's coming home is a term we used, and that's the thing, we use that term. So you can tell, like,
that's why
there's a bit of some jubilation.
England has never won because of his coming home.
Yeah. And the thing is, it comes down to this. We could see a lot of UPND people more like relishing, celebrating over this. Like, are you celebrating as a country? Like, we will finally bury our head of state here. Or are you celebrating as you guys because, we won the court case. So that came off very wrong. And at the end of the day, now people start asking, like, are you sure you're going to give this man a dignified vote? Because you guys are acting like this was a competition,
Are you done?
It's quite sad. Yeah, I'm sure.
To that point, though, this is because of what the family has done. The outcome of all of this is because they made those choices. So I know that they're not the right things, but you can't antagonize people and not expect an outcome.
Yeah, now, Tanya, here is the thing, okay? So now...
And especially, you are not dealing with people who all support you.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Now, Tanya, with what you've said to me, responsibility when you are in a position of power, okay? You are in a position of power. It's also your responsibility to show some restraint and be the bigger person. I'll tell you this. Listen, I know.
You need to tell PF and the family to show some
but
restraint
here, now look at this.
The bigger
Tanya,
as well.
Tanya, notice this.
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways, but Tanya, you must understand that at the end of the day, he who handles themselves better will even win public support. Let me explain to you. If I was President HH, I was in his position and this was happening to me, somebody says, Chabota, you cannot come to the funeral, okay, and all this craziness. You know what I would have done to save myself the trouble? I would have actually even won sympathy from the public. I would have just come out to say, look, me and the former head of state never had the best relationship. We fought. We took so many things too far. We actually even divided.
Let's not say we. It wasn't
No.
They were not on equal footing.
They were not on equal footing, but both sides did
so
some
don't be
craziness.
surprised by the outcome.
Okay,
after
all right,
and
that's the problem. You see, and that's where we have this problem. This revenge tactic is why we're in this mess.
But it's easy to say after the first person has done the entire.
No, I know it's easy to say this, but look, Tanya, then we're never going to progress if we keep on doing revenge to one another.
Don't you think?
We'll always fight. It will always be an endless cycle. of beating each other up. While you are destroying the country. Because at the end of the day, look at this, right? If we get mistreated under the current regime, it would be very stupid of us to say, if they want to choose na if we tualize some kuchita.
Human condition. Human nature.
Like, look at it this way. At the end of the day, if you are coming, because it shows that you're coming in, you're not coming in to help the people anymore. You're coming in to also have the last punch.
But Chabota, there's a thing about, and a lot of Zambian girls are raised in a way of muleke. Don't rise up to that, right? But I am a believer of an eye for an eye. Okay. You slap me, I slap you. Yeah. Let me finish. Because also, you got away with something. It doesn't make it okay that I should come into power and I feel this is partly why the family is emboldened to be as cheeky and as rude as they are to the head of state. Because to be fair, I don't get the sense that he has antagonized in the same way that Lungu antagonized him. So they're a little bit more, Issa, try, come.
You know what happened?
Right? And so this whole thing, as far as I'm concerned, I think what you were trying to say and trying to get to, and I think I agree with you, in the end, if I was HH, I would even step down and say, I don't even want to. Because guess what? They don't better than who are you, Lungu, that I should be wanting to be on your state?
Thank you. This is the point I was going to get to.
I know. That's what I said. That's what you were about to say.
I was about to say, here's the thing. You do realize if President HH said, I will not attend the funeral, I will go about my business, since that's what you guys want. And anyway, not that he would have said that, but I'll be like, I will respect the family's wishes.
Yes.
Okay? In his mind, he's like, it's not like I
didn't
even
care
like
about
that
him
guy
anyway.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could have even gone about somebody. Listen, somebody actually even said, you could have even flown out of the country. Watch out to my
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Somebody also said he could have gone to the farm. Okay, like to his farm.
Just say.
Or go about your business.
Upon the request of the Lungu family not to have me there, I respect their wishes. I will not be there.
I'll tell you something. Exactly. And now you see. I like the state.
We knew we were getting.
We were getting here all the time. Yes. We're just giving. Look, because at the end of the day, it's just logic we are using here now. Because look at it. I liked Ken Dumbo rather. There's something he said like, look, Your Excellency, if these family people said, but this time he was more diplomatic.
He was formal.
He was formal. Okay. He said, look, Your Excellency, if you don't attend the funeral, you don't lose anything.
No, 100%.
In fact, the family will even look bad, like, you didn't want this one man to be here. Okay. You don't lose anything. Just say, okay, we will bring the body. I will not be anywhere near. Let's do the repatriation. And in fact, he would have even looked like the bigger guy, like, he understands he's not going to be there. All right. And here is now where the problem. He hasn't done that, and then on the other side, he's kind of been dodging the question, because they asked him to say, since can you just tell them, okay, Shabeko? He has also not come out to say that. Okay, Shabeko, now let's go on with this.
He's also a bit prideful.
That's where the problem is, because you see, and this is where I was getting at. In as much as look, if the family is okay, let's put it this way: the family is tripping. Let me use street language. The family is tripping.
I'm so glad.
All he would have done, he would have just said, "Look, me, I'm too big for this.
Exactly.
You know what? Lumango will preside over this.
Exactly.
Chap, we'll move on.
Exactly.
By now,
finished this funeral, would have moved on.
But he hasn't come out.
Hang on, but also, now future-wise, history looks back at this, because that's what's going to happen, right? Yeah. This is the whole point of the legacy title at the beginning. History is going to look back and say, he was eventually buried and a vice president presided over.
Yeah.
What does that make the family look like? What does that make him look like? Yeah. Like he wasn't that important. So the family is the one that's bringing down the status here. So this is my issue with the way that they're acting. Leave everything as it should be. Let's all move on. You can have your wars behind the scenes as you always have done.
So what football team do you support?
Liverpool.
You know there's a saying, Kumanyu, Liverpool, Arsenal.
Not Kumanyu.
Kumanyu, and I was born before you. So, shush. So, there is no player who's bigger than
the club.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. There's no one man bigger than the country.
Exactly.
So, there's a bunch of people who are thinking it's an issue of we've defeated him. There's also an issue of I can't succumb to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the closing point, because you need to order a young one go. Beyond this, and this is our last point, guys. Beyond this, beyond the financial cost of a foreign lawsuit, what has been the cost to our national pride and dignity? My head of news was traveling from Namibia.
Yeah.
She was news stuff they were doing. She went for work, and the only thing the South Africans were talking about is Imwe. How? What is this nonsense? You are failing to bury one guy.
Yeah, and
you know when lay people, ordinary people are talking, they just shoot.
Yes.
So as we close off, can I have your views on what has been the cost to our national dignity here?
The cost has been, here's the thing. Zambia has been the example that many African countries have looked at. We've always been a country that has many friends, no enemies basically. Everybody looked at us with such admiration, like, okay, there's a way they are different, the way they operate. And their politics, Zambia has, if not the best transition of power on the continent. We've transitioned, politically we've done so well, okay, in changing governments, no conflict, no. On Africa, that's a privilege, okay? And that has shown a sign to say, okay, in politics, Zambia is not really that tense because governments change peacefully. But what this has done has exposed us to say, oh my goodness, they have serious, deep-rooted resentment against one another, the ruling and the opposition, which is so sad. A journalist from Zimbabwe said, and this is all too common in Africa. I think so, yes. This is all too common in Africa, where the ruling government can never get along with the former party. You know, there is always that bad blood. There is insecurity from the sitting government that, hey, these guys may want to bounce back since they have been there before, they know how the system works. And then there's also this, this guy is trying to destroy us so that we don't bounce back. There's just all this tension. And Zambia, we have been exposed, and I think it's a good thing. Okay, maybe we can start looking at ourselves and not think we are very special, and see the problems that we can work out on. And then this exposes also in terms of character. I, for one, as a young person that is aspiring for leadership, it teaches me a lot, because in as much as they say ready, they are irresponsible, they are shunned, the elders have not shown that they are better either.
100%.
Okay? And when we look at our elders, even rather, you know, like, this is not how you behave, this is not what you are not supposed to say this. And I'll say this, and not just for the sitting, there are so many things I was very much against PF that they were doing. I was not okay with. It's why I didn't even vote in 2021. I was like, I'm sorry, listen, I'm not a fan of the guy that the Zambian people are going to vote for next. I'm not going to vote, but that would not make me vote for you guys simply because I don't like the way you've been behaving lately. So I kind of, you know, detach myself from there and say, hey, whatever happens, happens. But as a country, I believe the next generation of leaders, we need to look into this issue, because this deep-rooted enmity in politics is going to cost us as a country one day. We shouldn't leave this. We shouldn't reach at this point where one thinks, the other one is say, I cannot bend a knee to these people. Because at the end of the day, two prides, you know, pride and ego cannot put the cost of 20 million Zambians at stake. So, yeah, I bet we could do better. We shall do better.
In the red corner.
Yeah.
That's the red corner.
No.
He's wearing red.
No.
It's
You are the red
maroon,
corner.
actually.
You are the red
It's
corner.
red.
Oh Lord, no, we're not doing
Colorblind.
this. We're not doing
Who's
this.
colorblind?
We're not doing
Who's
this.
colorblind? Do you know that men are more prone to colorblindness than
You
women?
too.
Very true, very true. I don't know the...
Can you conclude?
I've concluded. That's the last thing
He's
I wanted to say.
concluded.
Yeah.
What is the conclusion? What do you want?
We're saying that has national dignity. The question was, what has been the cost to our national dignity?
You know what? I think it satisfied Zambia's salacious attitude. They like this drama. Yeah. It's given Zambia exactly what it likes, you know. As the saying goes, like, it's revealed itself. Zambia's revealed itself who it is, you know. Do I like it or whatever? I don't know. I don't care. I think, like we said, let HH just back down, leave it. Just say, do your thing. But guarantee you that family will never piss without their piss being checked for drugs. HH will be right there on them for the rest of their lives because while he's in power, because you do not do this and think that you can get away with it, which is ultimately the same thing that you're saying.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. Yeah, they'll be constantly back and forth on each other.
I just think, I just don't understand why both sides don't give a shit about the country. Period.
Because they've got...
Period.
No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
No, I really think, okay, so...
Because they were never
when
there
you
for the
wake
party.
up,
Okay, no,
when you wake up and say this, you wake up and say... But, as we conclude, has this protracted battle, which has been broadcast internationally, made Zambia look like a dysfunctional country to the world? Or has it shown that our institutions can and will assert themselves even in the most difficult of circumstances? That is just the last question I have, and we're not going to answer it. It's food for thought.
Okay.
All right.
On behalf of the Honorable Chabota, it was nice to have you.
Thank
we
you very
always
much
have
for having.
a very wonderful, spirited discussion with you.
No, that's true.
And I'm
That's
really
true.
happy that today you and Tanya went at it.
We're this close, but hey, it is what it is.
I was looking for the cat fight.
We need a couple more times before we really go at it.
No, it was nice, really. Yeah. It's a subject that cannot be exhausted now because it's annoying at the very best. Yeah. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You want to say peace?
Pleasure as always. Come again.
Thank you. I will.
Till the next time.
A plus.
Out.
Bye. We're done.